For the second year in a row, your Stanford Cardinal are headed to the Rose Bowl in round 2 of the college football playoffs. This time facing against number 6 Texas Longhorns, who went 11-3 during the regular season. They, however, did not win their conference championship, losing to current number 1 Kansas State 35-21. But in the first round of the college football playoffs, they put up 15 in the third quarter, which would be too much for the Boise State Broncos to overcome. And now they face our Stanford Cardinal in the quarterfinals for the Rose Bowl. Winner will play against either East Carolina or Syracuse. Now the Longhorns are coming into this game a bit banged up. James Biggums, their redshirt junior quarterback, is out with a broken hand. So instead, they'll be relying on Jimmy Coltera, the redshirt freshman, who honestly has some decent ratings, 77 overall. They are also missing their number 2 receiver, both on his chest and on the stat sheet, in Randy Paul. The good news for them, Brandon Jeffrey and tight end Jorge Pineda have had a really good season. And on the defensive side, 2 names to watch out for: Jamie Funches on the defensive line, 11.5 sacks, and Frederick Tangello at strong safety with 7 interceptions. But our Cardinal are heading in healthy after being a bit banged up in their last game, and they're looking to complete the perfect season by winning today and finding their second straight national championship. But to Pasadena we go, looking to take down the Texas Longhorns and continue our streak of wins. Rose Bowl is underway. As Burns is set back to return, he tries to find an angle right side, and it opened up for a second before legend Anagbar takes him down. It will be a long field for the Longhorn offense. But with a young quarterback in with little experience, it's honestly possibly in favor of the Longhorns. Not much tape on this man, as it's a run play 1. Hiki Harulahu gets the first play of the Rose Bowl with a short gain. And a pistol ace form, looking to pass, bouncing outside and getting to the outside of Sampson, but sliding in front of Kiki. Cotrera picks up a gain of about 6, leaving 3rd and 4. Cardinal bring the pressure, but the pass is complete. It's the senior Zach Reef with the conversion. 1st and 10 for the Longhorns. Throwing outside and getting that one over Tuttle. The tight end Pineda bouncing off some tackles down to the 34. A massive play there for Texas. Gets them well inside plus side, as now they go to the jet sweep and taking down Tyrone Heggie with a hit. That was Rymersma, who is one of their running backs. We'll see a rotation from them. The 2nd and 14, they go back to the air. Tuttle with the quick tackle. And that leaves a 3rd and 11 at the 34. Cotrera trying to convert another 3rd down. Man coverage across the board, and they find their slot receiver. Burgess in tight coverage, he holds on. And now weaving, Longhorns take the lead. A strong drive orchestrated by the redshirt freshman quarterback, playing just his 2nd game here for the Longhorns, giving them a lead in the Rose Bowl as Mixon takes the handoff left side. And it's been quite some time since we've seen a team play our Stanford defense like what we just saw there, but the offense will take the field starting at the 25, needing an answer, as they start with Larry Sulai, who bounces around the backfield. Ends up as just a gain of 1. Not the best start offensively. And Draft couldn't step up. He's going to get dropped by Josh Hall, the left end, that time from an interior rush. Leaves 3rd and 12 at the 23. Longhorns well in control of this one early on, as Draft once again will not escape. Another loss of 2. It's Jamie bunches, forcing the punt. And for essentially is the home team here in the Cardinal, not that far from the farm. It was not a great start. Longhorns in charge. Mixon, who just had their previous touchdown, picks up 2 on first. It's 2nd and 8. They go back to a power run and will pick up a few more. Mersma, the back, though, going once again to the sideline. Mixon checks in. It's 3rd and 5, and there's the sack from Henderson. Cardinal will pick up the stop here. Cotrera could not convert that 3rd down. A much needed 3 and out from the Cardinal defense gets the offense back out in the field. They haven't gained a yard so far. They're going to find some yards. Here's Larry Sulai with a juke gain of about 13. A steady attack today will be key for this Cardinal offense. At the 38 now, they go play action. Rolling. They've got the receiver. It's Ben Vallejo to the opposite 31. And he's coming off a extremely good Pac-12 championship with the Cardinal. Have won 3 years in a row. Bunch to the left-hand side here as they go play action. Throwing this one into double coverage intended for Vallejo. A risky throw there from Draft. Luckily, it's not going to cost the Cardinal much at all. Just a down. 2nd and 10 of the 31. As Draft is making several changes, that should be a free play for the Cardinal, though no flag. Flag comes in late on the overthrow, and it's going to be DPI instead. And I'm sure no one on the Cardinal side is going to argue against that because it gives them 15 rather than 5. They're down to the 16. And an immediate block shed down the middle. Sulai is stuffed. The front is no joke for the Longhorns. They've had big impact already in this game. Back at the 20. And throwing underneath, they're going to find Bargava out at the 13. I'll leave the Cardinals still needing 6 here on 3rd. And what might be the final play of the quarter, they get the big DT to jump. This time the flag is thrown. And it makes it a 3rd and 6 into a 3rd and 1. Cardinal change up their look. They got 3 to the left-hand side. Handing this one off, Larry Sulai. He will go untouched into the end zone. Cardinal answer back. The dominant drive of the Texas Longhorns. First possession defense with the 3 and out, then the touchdown drive, making this game level before we hit the break of the first quarter. In fact, they left just enough time for one more play for the Longhorns as they start at the 19. 5 seconds remaining in the first. They go with the quick slant that is dropped. So never mind the one more play. We'll have another, but with 2 seconds, this should definitely be it. 2nd and 10 as they'll look to go back to the air, back across the middle, and this time held on to for a gain of 6. But the break will arrive there. A 7-7 ball game with time for Texas to decide what they want to do on another 3rd down. Their first drive, highly productive, 3 and out on their second. What will it be to start the second quarter? They will look to go to the air and pressure as the ball is jarred free. Cotrera will jump back on top of it, but it's Cassius Sampson forcing that one free and ending another drive for the Texas Longhorns. A great play from your sophomore Heisman winner and then back-to-back Heisman runner-ups. If he is not an early first-round pick, I don't know what is. Well, the ball is over to the offense, starting plus side at the 45. And immediate pressure again down the middle. I don't know what's going on with our center and guard combos right now, but that's a second straight drive. We've had an immediate block shed. We did have some injuries to that spot last game. Perhaps that is a reason as Vallejo gets the short grab. Cardinal with a long 7, but again jumping early, and it looks like they're going to get Robinson here. That's an extremely unlucky call for the Stanford Cardinal. It looked bang bang. I don't know. I guess in that instance, the break does not go to the offense. And they're trying to throw against the grain. They had ball with blockers, but the defense will stand with penalties. For Coach Barrington, That might be the first time in a couple years where a drive has started on the plus side and have come away with no points. Be up to the defense to make sure this game stays deadlocked as Cotrera will run again. This is definitely giving us some input on who he is as a quarterback, and that appears to be he will run. As they hand it off down the middle, Mixon picks up 3. Now leave the Longhorns once again needing a little bit. Early jump does not give the penalty, and a big stop on the outside is your hometown hero, Oscar Coley. The defense has answered back from their slow start. Now we just need the offense to get that ball into the end zone and take a lead here. As they look for a rollout pass, they're going to find Gomez leaking underneath the blocks. In a way, kind of like a tight end screen. Gain of 7 to the 41. And pistol set here, ace form. Another play action roll. They've got the receiver downfield, but having to slow up for it is Virgil Rowland. Will be another first down for the Cardinal, but it could have been a whole lot more if that ball was put out in front. Sulai runs right side, but the Longhorn box being stingy. Just 1 at the 40. As they throw to the right-hand side, it's going to be dropped by Ball. They missed the throw to him on the last drive that ended it. They really could have used it there. 3rd and 9. Hard count. Several players in Cardinal move early. And they will get Larry Sulai with the early jump. So 3rd and 14. They're back at that same 45. Trips look to the right. As they look for the screen, it's out to Sulai with 1 to beat. For the first down, he shakes him off and gets out of bounds. Cardinal convert the 3rd and a pretty long distance. Down to the 29. They go back to the line here quickly. Throwing to the left, they've got Bargava. Another pass a little bit behind from Draft. At this point, it's working out though. They're picking up the big plays. 2nd and 2. They'll look to the air under pressure and through the hands of Alejo. It looked like they had him, but it was jarred free by the cover man. Leaves a 3rd and a short 2. Larry Sulai, he's got the first down to the 15. We'll see Draft come out in his favorite formation to follow. Virgil Rowland will be the one in motion. Draft keeping it weak side, a big tackle as Earl Burns is a bit shaken up here for the Longhorn front. We've already seen him have a big impact in this one. One of the guys getting some pretty quick block sheds. 2nd and 11. Rowland again in motion as they look to set up the screen. It's read well by the Longhorn defense. Draft ultimately forced to kind of throw it away. 3rd and 11. And under pressure, Draft can't break the sack of Brian McFadden. Drop back to the 27 as he was waiting for some receivers to get open. It's Sam Ritter getting iced by the game clock. 2-minute warning hits here. Hopefully he was prepared for that. Coming out here to try to give the Cardinal a lead, and he sends it down the middle. 10-7 Cardinal with the advantage here with about 2 minutes to go in the first half. And it'll be up to the defense to keep it that way. With 1:55, Cotrera has had, honestly, a pretty good game. Redshirt freshman having to come in and start in the playoffs. A diving swat from Kevin Salmon. That's what we want to see from our number 2 corner taking on what looks to be most of the time Texas's number 1 receiver. 2nd and 10. They flood one side and leave one man sitting underneath Remersma. He'll get the grab for a decent gain. Timeout called and a 3rd and 3 to go for the Texas Longhorns. As they look to set up their own screen and just a little bit of a delayed reaction. First down. Cardinal actually had the number advantage out there. Just the eyes were downfield. Bringing the blitz here. Cassius Sampson gets shooketh. And then Nathan Henderson finally will pick up that sack. Cotrera was just dancing around the both of them. But with what we've seen from this Longhorn offense, this game could heavily rely on the defensive ends of the Cardinal, as there's a beautiful throw from the freshman, nearly picking up the first down. Longhorns again with a timeout. third and a short one. As they go to the air, wide open on the outside, but unable to stay in bounds. The Longhorn offense making the defense earn every single stop, and it's been difficult out there. With another open receiver outside and forcing him out of bounds, as it looks like one of the linemen here for Texas a bit shaken up. And outside the tackles, that front group has really done a great job. We haven't seen much from Pascal Alex Augustine bringing the blitz here, but the timing stays perfect. Pineda gets the grab despite the hit from Tuttle. 1st and 10 Longhorns. And looking again outside from Ursma, he gets upended. Longhorns, they go quick to the outside and beating the coverage. Looked like cover 2. Max Schlegel just a little bit late to get out wide. And it is the senior in Reef who gets the touchdown. Longhorns take the lead, 24 seconds to spare. So hold the lead. The defense did not. Cardinal, they have 3 timeouts of their own, and they're coming out here with a 2-spread look either side. Play action, pressure coming in. Draft will just have to get rid of that one. Looked like he was wanting the one-on-one with Virgil Rowland, just not enough time. We talked about the front 7 here of the Longhorns having a pretty big impact in this game. As they go downfield, this one is caught by Ball, just plucks it out of the air. Timeout is quickly called, Coach Barrington. But that is exactly why they tell young receivers, do not put your hands up until you have to. The DB had no idea that ball was getting there. Trips to the right-hand side, 14 seconds to spare. They want Gomez, similar situation, but swatted away. Angelo in coverage there. He's been the top guy for this secondary. 2nd and 10 at the 31. Virgil Rowland outside. That ball's a little bit short. And not able to hold on to it was Rowland. But with 6 seconds, you're looking at hopefully a quick shot to the end zone and then bring out the field goal unit. As they've got ball right-hand side and a lead for the Stanford Cardinal. They had 24 seconds to play with. And with a handful to spare, not even a handful, 2 seconds to spare, they retake the lead here in Pasadena. Oh my, do we have a great Rose Bowl for you. 17-14 at half. The passing yards exactly the same. Attempts separated by 1. Though completions heavily favor the Texas Longhorns. They've thrown a lot more successfully underneath. That's been where their offense has thrived. Defensively, it's been the same for both sides. That front 4 really has dominated this game, providing a lot of pressure, providing a lot of hits. In the second half, we'll see what changes are made and who's going to end up on top. Well, the first to show their hands will be the Stanford Cardinal and Coach Barrington. Starting on offense, is back at the 17. Not a favorable return as Sulai finds a little gap for 5. And considering how inconsistent the running game was in that first half, that's arguably one of the better runs today. Looking to go to the air here. Going outside, Ben Vallejo can't hold on. He had to dive out for it, and it's off the mitts. 3rd and 5, hard count, no one jumps. Now motion from the Cardinal. They cover everyone pretty well to that right-hand side. Draft will shake the tackle and pick up the first down. A great play there from your QB1, who has negative yards on the day rushing. Very rare in his career has that ever been the case. Larry Sulai back down the middle for 3. But if they're to ever find their way well in charge of this game, it's going to have to come with domination up front. We haven't seen that yet. As they bring the blitz, it's a spinning Hail Mary of a short throw. But it does find George Ball, setting up a 3rd and 2 Cardinal with a strong pistol eye. And bringing the blitz, the linebackers both get through. The fullback froze. And honestly, it's not entirely on Babineau. Conklin, the center, also whiffed on the block. They pick up both those blocks, and we have an easy first down. Instead, It's Longhorn ball as they start at the 21. Punter does a good job, though, of flipping the field. Reimersma with a short gain. This defense was a little touch and go in the first half. Some pretty good play. Secondary has been a bit iffy, leaving a receiver open. Good news, the pressure arrives just in time as that ball gets there short. 3rd and 9 for the Longhorns. They look to set up a screen to the right-hand side. Tuttle read it well, but they're not able to get the tackle. It's a first down for Reimersma. That's arguably been the biggest problem for the Cardinal today. 3rd down stops. They're doing pretty decent 1st and 2nd as Mixon, again, getting some extra yardage. Too many soft tackle attempts here for the Stanford Cardinal. Longhorns taking advantage of it as they hand this one off for nothing but green grass. Reimersma not able to split the last 2 DBs. But it's another big run for the Longhorns, and we're seeing nothing for the defensive interior of the Stanford Cardinal. Rolling, nearly getting the pick, Max Schlegel. That could have been huge for this Cardinal defense. But 2nd and 10 as Reimersma again able to get a little bit outside. Nathan Henderson there, though, to make sure it's a short run. 3rd and 8. And a fantastic diving grab, Jeffrey. Longhorns just proving to be near impossible to slow down. They're back inside the red zone. Early jump, no flag comes down as they find Pineda. That catch puts them inside the 10 for 2nd and 6. And a lot of movement early this play, but it looks like it's that ball that flinched will back them up. So 2nd and 11 then instead, back at the 14. As Mixon tries to get outside, again Texas seals the edge, and they're going to say he crossed that goal line. It was extremely close of a call. I'm sure there will be a review upstairs. 21-17. Longhorns, if it stands, back in charge. But as predicted, we do have a review come in. It was enough to take a longer look here. And that looks like Schlegel plus Kevin Salmon stuffed the play. It's going to be a quick second look. And 1st and mere inches away from the goal line. This time, it will be enough. Mixon 100% crosses the goal line. Texas, this go-around takes that 21-17 lead. But this is what playoff football is all about. Good back-and-forth games, and that it has been today. Cardinal with the ball, they start at the 25. This time the blocks come in. Sulai bounces outside to the 43. They've tried running down the middle to no avail. First time they run outside, and it works out pretty well. They look to go back to it. Sulai gonna lose 4 this go-around. The Longhorns have just done a terrific job of responding throughout this game. At the 39, Wesovich has checked in at running back. They throw left side. Ball with a little shimmy there will help pick up a few more. And that does still leave the Cardinal a bit behind the chains. 3rd and 6. Graff sees something he likes. He makes the change. Hard count, no one jumps. And throwing again under pressure, they get Gomez, who is taken down short at the 49. But the offense stays on out. With a spread look, no one covering their outside receiver. They're going to get Ben Vallejo. He's got the first down and a whole lot more down to the 21. And they're going to go hurry up from there, trying to keep this Longhorns defense on their back heels, giving up that big 4th down conversion. Draft under pressure, and there's no keeping them on their heels. Brian McFadden shows up for Texas and has them in charge here. 21-17 as we head to the final quarter of the Rose Bowl. For one of these teams, this is it. Whoever does not end up on top at the end of these 9 minutes is headed home. The other continues their season. And the pressure is just too much. This time it's Aguilera. The Cardinal now facing a 3rd and 24. They definitely can't lose any more yards here. They'd be outside of field goal range. They'll move themselves 5 yards closer with a hard count. From there, they will change up their look as well. 3rd and now 19 at the 30. One deep safety for the Longhorns. No hard count this time. Throwing well short of the first down to the 17, and a decision to make here. Cardinal coming out with their offense. Doesn't mean that they will snap the ball here. We see oftentimes in this situation, a defense will jump as they tried the hard count. But even that is not enough for the first down. They say 4th and inches, and making a call up front. Now Larry Sulai jumps for the 2nd time today. This 4th down is just pure chaos right now for both sides. 4th and 5, a hard count, no one jumps. Hard count again, no one jumps, and now Draft snaps that ball. He's rolling to the left-hand side. It opens up the play, and George Ball will take it to the end zone. Draft used his legs to suck down the defender, and it opened up Ball with a great throw from Draft to retake the lead. A 4th quarter lead for your Stanford Cardinal, 24-21. This might be one of the best Rose Bowls of all time. The back and forth has just been so good to watch as Reimersma stopped in the gap. Now the Cardinal can really use with a stop here on defense, give them a chance for their offense to really take control of this game. As they go back to Reimersma, getting the push up front. We just really have not seen much at all from the defensive interior of the Cardinal. They get some pressure there, but the pass is out, and Reimersma converts another 3rd down. Over and over again, this freshman has shown that he does not care about pressure. He's going to stick in and make the play as he makes another throw. Facing arguably the best offensive line in college football, he is unfazed at 2nd and 3. As they go to Mixon, chopped down by Schlegel. It's 3rd and a short one. Will they look to hand it off or go for the pop-up pass? They go with the read option, and the defense responds with the blitz. Cardinal pick up the stop at the 43. And with just under 5 minutes to play, the Cardinal are now in the driver's seat. They got the fullback out there as Sulai looks to get outside. He finds a burst to the outside, picking up a gain of 15. And this is where we see them downshift into their run-the-clock formations. Well inside 5 on the play clock. They go counter. Larry Sulai with the big truck stick before he takes a good hit himself. Earl Burns, though, shaken up for the Longhorns. His 2nd time today. Credit the big fella for trying to fight through, though. Again, season on the line for both of these teams. It's 2nd and 1. Motion is Babineau. And it looks like it'll be Larry Sulai again with a 1st down rumble to the 47. We haven't seen the Cardinal hand off the ball this many times in a row the whole game, as we're inside now 3.5 minutes. The offensive line now going to work. This is exactly why you invest in that group. A flag comes in, and maybe this is not why you invest in that group. Again, there was no count given, but jumping off sides for the 2nd straight drive in a row is a Stanford Cardinal. Makes this a 2nd and 9. I believe that was Pete Morton. Perhaps the Longhorns are having some calls out there that sound like a snap count, but it's Sulai who will convert nonetheless. Taking the Cardinal down to the 31, and he'll finally get a breather. Wesovich checks in, but after a quick 2-minute break, it's Larry Sulai right back out there. He's trying to finish this game strong with another straight handoff. The Longhorns now having to call their timeouts, but that run put Sulai at 100 yards today. With a spread look, they go back to Sulai. Taking a hit to the helmet, no flag is called. You could have your opinions on targeting, but that sure did look like one. As the fullback comes in, keeping it, Draft, flips it out late. Sulai with the spin, but he's dragged down. And it looks like we have 2 players injured on this play. Sulai and Burns both shaken up. And in a strange move, they actually let a bunch of time run off the clock and take the penalty. It's 4th and 7, and it's Sam Ritter out on the field. trying to give them a little bit of comfort as he nails another field goal. He's 2 for 2 on the day, but a touchdown and an extra point would give the Longhorns the lead. We will definitely have to catch up with Coach Barrington to find out what that was all about. But it's over to the Longhorns now with a little over a minute and a half. As quarterback looks to scramble, he takes a hit as he gives himself up. It's Tuttle flying over. Just a gain of 3 and hurry up here for the Longhorns. They'll have 2 to either side. Remersma in the backfield. He's been their main receiving guy today. Passing outside is Pineda. Short of the first down. Cardinals, they're going to force a 3rd and inches. And it looks like they're going to crunch down the line here as well. Double A gap look. They bring the blitz. Force the pressure, and it's picked off. Alex Marcotte, the senior, comes through as he's looking for a lane down the sideline. The speed will carry Alex Marcotte to the end zone. Pick 6 on the redshirt freshman, and a dagger to the heart of the Longhorns. They were so close. A touchdown and an extra point would win them the game. But the ball just slightly underthrown, and the speed on pure display by Alex Marcotte. And if that's not enough, the offense is out there for a 2-point try. Throwing high and bobbled around before it does hit the turf. It stays 33-21. Does Texas have anything left in their bag of tricks with 1:06 remaining in this game? They're down by 12. That one's short. Henderson provides the pressure, and Contreras not able to get it out cleanly like he's done so many times today. Pressure again. He throws this one away, and it's 3rd and 10. 4-down territory, though, for Texas with how little time is in this game. And James Tuttle will have another, the 2nd pick for the Cardinal. He's not able to cut back across. But with that, and 1 timeout for the Longhorns, it will be victory formation for the Stanford Cardinal. Their dream season stays alive, and with the kneel down, your Stanford Cardinal are Rose Bowl champions, sending themselves to the semifinals of the college football playoffs. And you could thank the defense for the late game interceptions to seal it. Big shout out as well to Larry Sulai. It was a slow game for him, but he came alive. Your player of the game, though, is going to be George Ball with 2 touchdowns for the Stanford Cardinal on just 5 grabs. The Longhorns, though, they played a terrific game, and as we mentioned throughout this broadcast, might be one of the best Rose Bowls of all time. The back and forth kept this game entertaining throughout. Your Cardinal are headed on to the semifinals of the college football playoffs. But who do we face? And it will be the East Carolina Pirates in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Oh my, what a game that was. I hope for you it was as fun to watch as it was for me to play in. And going back to what ended up being a penalty for us before we kicked that last field goal, is I was trying to find the right play, decide what I wanted to do, but since we were chewing that clock, even though there was a timeout, the time just slipped away, and I decided it was best to not waste a possible needed timeout with how the Texas offense had performed in this game. So I decided to trial our defense, leave it up to them with a touchdown and the extra point that would have given the Longhorns the lead. And Alex Marcotte showed up in the biggest way possible. And keep in mind, he's not really the high volume interception guy. A lot of these, he has had 7 this year, highest to this point. But in seasons past, I mean, he's been locked down, but only 2 interceptions his redshirt freshman year, 1 his redshirt sophomore year, and I believe 2 of these 5 came in the playoffs last year. So hopefully he's primed for a phenomenal end to his Cardinal career, just as a lot of these players are. Like we just saw, we have East Carolina up next. They beat Syracuse 27-24, and just as close of a game as we had, they did too. They just didn't have, that pick at the end, the pick six. But 27-24, 14 points scored apiece in the fourth quarter. The biggest difference came in the second quarter. You never know with these playoff games how things are going to unfold. As for how things are unfolding in the other part of this bracket, Ohio State and Kansas State are going to battle it out in the semifinals, Fiesta Bowl. Those two teams are going back and forth for who is the number one team, despite both of these teams having more losses than our Stanford Cardinal. We got that chip on our shoulder, the only team 14-0 still going here. And Marshall didn't even finish undefeated. In fact, we are the only undefeated team who have made it to the college football playoffs. So make sure you are here, as the next time we are all here on this channel will be on Monday. And that is for your semi-visitals. I just watched Benchwarmers the other day, so that I've just been waiting to use that. We might use that a little bit more next time, but semifinals against East Carolina. A little reminiscent of the North Texas Natty we had last year. Hopefully it's the same ending. Make sure you're here for it by hitting that bell icon in the bottom right corner, or scrolling down and tapping that sub button and tapping that bell icon so you're notified when these videos go live. If you've missed some of the other big games on this channel this week, go back, make sure you watch them, as we had Cha-Cha Vaz, spoiler alert, in yesterday's video, finally get the call up. He's headed to AAA. And your Jaguars, well, their season just came to an end after a really big win in the last possible game. That's just how I'm going to say it in case you missed it. There's also a poll on the channel so that you can go vote on what you think about Jeff Polk, our rookie quarterback over there. And we will see you back here next time as we face East Carolina in the semifinals of the college football playoff.